I got that California.
What's up, Ocean? You got Matt here, coach of your Montreal Milotic, bringing you our Week 9 battle for the ICBA. Today we're facing off against Spanik, coach of the New York Rangers, but in reality we are playing against the Lawrence Talon Flames and their coach Garchomp the God. Austin had to drop the league, unfortunately, after going through some family things. He is back to YouTube, though, which is incredible. I'm so happy for him. He got his channel back, so make sure to go down and subscribe to him. He deserves it. He was at around 200-something-ish subscribers when he closed his channel, but after reopening, he's only down to like single digits almost. So make sure to go and check him out. He's a really good guy. He makes really good content, and you're going to enjoy his draft league games. But we are playing against Spanik here. Spanik graciously took over for Austin's team. We were all going to get forfeit wins against Austin's team, but Spanik was allowed to come in just so we can make sure to have something to upload. And I don't mind here, win or lose. I was just happy I have something to upload. Now, this is on Showdown. Again, we have 3 weeks in a row on Showdown. I'm not happy about it, but we disconnected after about 15 turns in the game, maybe less, like 12 turns in the game, and it would have been impossible to recreate. And to just tell you how impossible it was, on Twitter, I was tweeting out while it was happening how long it was taking. We had done at least 50 attempts. It was well over an hour of just trying to recreate, and it was based on, you'll see when it happens. I'll explain when we just kept trying to recreate. It was basically just scald burns at the right time. Yeah, and then when we did get the scald burn right, it was bad rolls. And maybe you could say bad rolls in the Wi-Fi game because it was a low roll that I got. But still, we're just going to get into it right now. We'll go ahead and get started because this is a really interesting game for you guys. I built my team with Aaron here. Shout out to Aaron, Aaron2420. Huge help with me. I had such a good time building with him, and honestly, I felt the team was really solid. And I didn't make any notes, which kind of sucks, but it's just the team is amazing. So to start off, we have, or I'll just go over the teams first. I forgot to do that. So his team is Ash Greninja with Z-moves, the other Greninja. He's got his Zygarde 50%, Skarmory, Necrozma, Mimikyu with Z-moves, Jolteon, Beware, Cloyster, Mega Camerupt, Vileplume, and Grotle. While I have the Protein Greninja with Z-moves, the Kill Leader still, Mega Glade, Zapdos, Salamence with Z-moves, Sylveon, Donphan, Salazzle, Lycanroc Day, Mismagius, Klinklang, and the Lantern. Now, this is an interesting build. I built it with Aaron. I had a lot of fun with it, like I said, and we'll just get into it. So to start off, we have our Greninja here. We have Dark Pulse, Surf, Ice Beam, and U-Turn with the Darkanium Z. We are max speed to speed tie with his Greninja when he is not in Battle Bond form. We then have our Sylveon here, which is our Mimikyu answer. We have 244 HP. I forgot exactly what the spreads do. I think this one lives a Adamant Mimikyu all the time. Is always number 2 killed by a Adamant Mimikyu's Play Rough. After leftovers, I think that's what it is. So we have 244 HP, 172 defense, 20 in special attack, 36 special defense, and 36 speed. Very interesting set, I know, very kind of all out there. But we have Hyper Voice, Hidden Power Water for the Camerupt, which always 2 KOs. We have Wish and Protect. This will allow us to beat the Mimikyu 1v1 if it's not running Swords Dance. It will also allow us to beat the Camerupt 1v1 if it's not running, I guess, like, I don't know if it gets Work Up or something, but we should be able to beat that thing as well. So that's very important. Our next model is going to be our Texas Man here, the Mega Glade. We have Swords Dance, Ice Punch, Drain Punch, and Knockoff. We were running max attack. We decided to switch it a bit and put into the defense. That way, I think this we live a +2 Adamant Life Orb Shadow Sneak from the Mimikyu. I think that's what it's for. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's what it's for. Yeah, and we are Jolly Natured with, we have 148 speed and Jolly Natured. I think that's for the Zygarde. We have Swords Dance again, Ice Punch for Zygarde, Drain Punch for recovery and damage, Knockoff for the Necrozma. I was debating Night Slash, but even if he's a Z-move, Knockoff would, I think, be my better play just for the utility because the damage output is marginal. It's not that big of a difference. Our next mod is going to be our Zapdos here, Suffering. This is a very important mod. It's our backup check to a lot of different things, including the Zygarde, if it's not Dragon Danced up, including the Necrozma, if it's a physically defensive one, like I assume it's going to be. It'll live a Greninja the Ice Beam, which is pretty important. It's going to take Mimikyu's hits pretty well, and I was very scared of Mimikyu, honestly, and it didn't end up coming, which is something else. But yeah, we have U-Turn and Discharge for the paralysis chances, Hidden Power Ice for the Zygarde, and Roost for recovery. Debated Defog over U-Turn, but I felt like Defog U-Turn was going to be really important on our Zapdos this game for momentum. Our next mod is going to be our Lantern here with the Shuca Berry. We are running Ice Beam and Volt Switch, Icy Wind, and Scald. We are Volt Absorb to take hits from the Jolteon. It's our Jolteon answer. It's also a good Greninja answer. We aren't really I don't think we're 3 KO'd by a non-Life Orb Greninja's Dark Pulse, which is very important here. Shuca Berry's there for the Zygarde. Again, if he decides to go for a Dragon Dance, I'm going to go for the Ice Wind first turn because Icy Wind will firstly it'll break a potential Yache Berry. Second, it'll also lower speed so he gets back to neutral, and then we live a +1 1,000 arrows. We actually live a +2,000 arrows with our Shuca Berry and our defensive investments, which is very important here. So I can just go for an Ice Beam and get the KO after that. So again, Icy Wind into Ice Beam is my play here. Then we have finally our Lycanroc here, which I forgot the nickname, is our lead. It is Focus Sash, Stealth Rock, Taunt, Endeavor, and Accelerock. Taunt to get rid of a potential, to stop the hazards coming up from the Skarmory or the Necrozma or even the Camera. And then Accelerock to do damage to whatever it may be. Maybe we need a little bit of extra chip on the Zygarde or on the Jolteon or on the, even the, what are they called? The Greninja. And Endeavor's there because we have the Focus Sash. If I can bring down anything that he has down to 1 HP, I'm going to be in such a good spot because none of his Mons really want to be low on health at all. No one really wants to be low on health, but his Mons especially. The Skarmory, if it's low on health, it can't come in on rocks again and defog them away. If I have rocks up and the Jolteon gets at 1 HP, then it can't just Volt Switch in and out, and it can't just Volt Absorb my Discharge and my Volt Switch from my Lantern. So yeah, that's just my play. Get things low on health, and hopefully just go from there. I think I have a really good shot to win this game. I think my matchup is pretty good here. It's a game I'm very confident about, honestly. So I'm going to go ahead and we'll get right into it. So I'm going to start off here. I'm going to lead this game with my Lycanroc here. He's going to lead off with his Mega Camerupt. And I'm going to go ahead and click the taunt here, predicting the rocks. But you're going to see actually a shortened version of it because, again, like I said, we did disconnect during the game. So in the original game, I go for taunt, he goes for Stealth Rocks, and then I go for rocks, and he goes for Fire Blast, and he lands. So he went for Fire Blast, I guess, because he was expecting the Endeavor. But in this game, he's just going to go for the Endeavor here, the Earth Power here. I'm going to go for rocks. So again, originally I taunted, he rocked, it didn't work. He Fire Blast landed the hit as I went for the rocks. So now he Earth Powers. Here, I'm at 1 HP. He's going to Earth Power again to KO me. He KOs me in the real game as I went for the Endeavor here. Originally, he was at like 30-something% with the, or 30 HP rather, with the after the Endeavor. But I just went to my Greninja here, and because I had rocks up, he just decided to sack off his camera up here. So I go with my Greninja, click the Ice Beam, and we're going to get a KO with our Greninja here. And the reason I went for the Ice Beam and not the Dark Pulse or anything like that is because I did not want the Jolteon coming in for free. And again, I would have gone for the U-turn if he was at 1 HP, but because he was at 32 HP, or 31 HP rather, he was never going to die to a U-turn from my Greninja. So I had to go for the Ice Beam here. Again, Ice Beam I decided to go for because if I went for the Dark Pulse, the Jolteon would be able to come in and go for Signal Beam, which could OHKO me. If I was a Water type, he can go for Volt Switch or Thunderbolt and KO me. If you go for Ice Beam, he can't KO me with anything, so I think that was a better idea. Anyways, I go for the Ice Beam here, and he decides to go into the Jolteon anyways, and I'm just going to go hard into my Lantern, expecting the Volt Switch or the Thunderbolt, and that's exactly what happens. He ends up going for the Volt Switch over here as we get our Volt Absorb, and I'm going to go for the Ice Wind here. Now, I was expecting to potentially pack the Synchro Noise on this set. Synchro Noise, if you guys don't know, is a move that will do damage. It's a psychic move. They'll only do damage if you share a type with the mon you're attacking. So because Jolteon's an electric type, and Lantern's an electric type, it'll do damage to my Lantern. But I'd expected it to kind of come, and I was kind of hoping I would wall this thing pretty well, but I didn't really think he was going to, I wasn't as confident as him packing that as I was confident that the Zygarde would have Dragonance, or that the Necrozma would potentially be a weakness policy set or a Culberry set. But yeah, so I decided to stay and go for the Ice Wind here, expecting the Zygarde maybe, but he goes for the Synchro Noise here, so good play. I like to bring, actually, I'm going to pause it again because, again, things change because of the recreation, but in reality, I went for the Icy Wind, I landed, I got the special attack drop, and then after the next turn, I decided to switch out into my Sylveon, expecting him to go for the Synchro Noise again, which it did. Then I switched back into my Lantern right away, expecting the Volt Switch, which he did as well, and he brought me back to 99%, and then he went for the Volt Switch again, expecting me to switch back out, and I went back to full, and I went for the Scald, and I did damage to him. So basically, we skipped a bunch of turns, and I go for the Ice Wind now. He goes to the Volt Switch again. Told you he got me back to full. I went for the Icy Wind, and then over here we're kind of back to normal. I got the crit there. It doesn't matter at all. I kind of think he's an Assault Vest Jolteon here. He's going to go for the Synchro Noise here because he did get a bit of damage off on me at this point. So he goes to the Synchro Noise again. I don't know why he didn't go for it there. I kind of forget, but not a big deal. I got the burn here on him, which is good because I did get the burn on the switch. He did switch out into the Necrozma, and we got the burn. And at this point, we're almost back to the point where we DC'd. This is the part that was difficult to recreate. We only got to this point where we didn't get the burn on the Jolteon, and we got the burn on the Necrozma twice. It happened twice. That's it. Out of like 50 plus times of happening, it just twice. Oh, sorry. This is the third time that happened. So, yeah. Anyways, at this point, I'm going to go for the Volt Switch here. I kind of want to see how much damage this thing is going to take. He could be specially defensive, he could be physically defensive, I don't really know. From this, I kind of know he's more physically defensive, I think, and I went to my Gallade here expecting him to go for the Trick Room because I outsped him. There's no reason for me to outspeed him. So because of that, I went into my Gallade, expecting the Trick Room, like I said. But I don't know. He decided to go for the Moonlight instead, so he just has minimum IV, so I'm definitely thinking this thing has Trick Room on its set. But he's just going to go for the Moonlight here, no big deal. He hasn't revealed a Culberberry, but he could be weakness policy still. I'm going to Mega Evolve here and click the Knockoff. Now, Knockoff, if he is Weakness Policy, won't KO him. I didn't think he was going to be Weakness Policy. I really thought he was going to be the Culprit Berry. He is Weakness Policy, though, so damn it. And he goes for the Trick Room here, so great play. I wish I had gone for the Swords Dance. It would have been such a good play for me. But he can go for a free Photon Geyser here. In the game, I go for Knockoff. Over here, I go for the Ice Punch. I went for Knockoff because I went for Ice Punch because in the game, I got like a mineral on either the first hit or the second hit. Basically, it was such a rare chance for him to live these 2 hits with his Necrozma. But yeah, it's just it's so rare that he was going to live those hits. Basically, is what I'm trying to say. So I'm just going to go for the Ice Punch here. He's going to have the Photon Geyser, and he's going to do just under half me. He did exactly half me in the game, so I'm at 1% more, not a big deal. Ice Punch comes out. We bring him down pretty low. Again, he was at 1% after the burn in the game, which sucks, but not a big deal. I really wish I got the KO there, but it's fine. Anyways, at this point in time, I believe I switch out into my Zapdos here. Yep, and he's going to go for the Moonlight. So good play. Again, the reason I went to my Zapdos was because he was at 1 HP, and I didn't want to lose my Gallade. So I was just going to let the burn finish him off, and Zapdos would have taken the Moonlight pretty well. Then not Moonlight, the Photon Geyser pretty well. But he goes for the Moonlight here. Like I said, it gets back to a decent amount of health. I'm going to go for the Discharge here, as he's going to go for the Moonlight again. So we are going to get some damage off on him, which is nice. And at this point here, the Trick Room is going to wear off the next turn. So I'm going to go for the U-turn here, expect him to go for an attack or a Moonlight. Doesn't really matter, because at this point, I can go U-turn, and as he's going to go for the Photon Geyser. And it's going to do nothing, by the way, because he is a physically offensive one and he's burnt. So I'm going to go for the U-turn here. We get a crit there. It doesn't matter at all, really, because it was just a little bit more damage. It was like he was at around this percentage because of the damage from the Knockoff was a bit more than the damage from the Ice Punch. But at this point here, I get my Greninja, and we are finally able to actually play the game. This recreation took way too long. Yeah, honestly, I'm sorry about that. Even though it's only 13 turns, it took way too long. But the Trick Room is going to wear off here, and I'm going to go for the Dark Pulse here. We're going to get a guaranteed KO on this Necrozma here. I didn't go for the Z Dark Pulse because I was worried about him potentially being thinking I wasn't Scarfed. I wanted him to think I could be Scarfed. But in comes the Greninja here, and I'm thinking, okay, I have 2 options. I have 2 options here. One, go for the U-turn and get like 75 at least off on the Greninja, or I switch out hard and I go into my my Lantern here. I would never go into my Sylveon here, never. Why? Because I need to make sure that he doesn't go for a Gunk Shot on the switch or a Z Gunk Shot or whatever it may be. Because honestly, that's the biggest thing I would be worried about. I am also worried about him potentially being Specs or Life Orb. If he is a Specs or Life Orb Greninja here, a Hydro Pump will knock me out. A Surf, I think, might knock me out if he's Specs. So I don't want him to win a speed tie, go for Specs, Hydro Pump, and get a KO. Not happening. I need my Greninja around this game. It's too important, and I can't have him get Battle Bond. So I'm going to go hard into my Lantern here, as he is going to go for the Z Gunk Shot. So great play. He goes for that, and I kind of think he's got no investment in attack based on the damage he did. He could just be a hasty nature or a naive nature with max speed and max special attack, and he just went the Z Gunk Shot to do damage to my Sylveon. And now that my Lantern is kind of low, I'm disappointed. I really wish it wasn't this low, because I need it to help me check the Zygarde because of the Icy Wind and the Ice Beam, because of all the damage it's going to do. Unfortunately, though, it is kind of low. I'm just going to go for I believe the Icy Wind here, as he's going to switch out into his Jolteon. So this is a very big set of turns. I go for the Icy Wind here. Kind of wish I went for the Scald now. We got the speed drop again, doesn't matter, and he needs to be -3 to be able to outslow me. So I'm going to go for the Scald here, and my play is just to sack off my Lantern. That's what I want to do. Sack this thing off, let this thing die, because if it does, then I can bring in my Greninja here again, or not my Greninja, yeah, get my Greninja here, get a KO on the Jolteon because he'll be at minus speed, and yeah, that's just my best play. So I'm gonna live the next Synchro Noise. There's no way I drop, and he's gonna live the next Scald here. So I go for another Scald here, as he's gonna do damage to the Synchro Noise with me, and I go for the Scald, and he is going to unfortunately get burnt. And this burn is huge. I really wish I was not burning him here, and you're gonna see why. So he dies to the burn here, and he can now bring in his Greninja. And at this point, I'm on the back foot, 100%. If I dropped, then I could go into my Greninja, get a KO with U-turn, and just do whatever. Because I got the KO here, he can go into his Greninja and freely click whatever move he wants to go for and basically get his free Battle Bond, because nothing I have really wants to take 2 hits from this thing. So I'm going to switch out. I'm going to go into my Sylveon here, as he makes a good play and goes for the Gunk Shot. This is going to do nothing to me. It does less than half, which I'm fine with. I want to go for I want to switch out and go into my Skarmory here. Sorry, I want to switch out and go into my Zapdos, predicting his Skarmory, but I need to go for the Wish just in case he decides to stay in. So I Wish up here, as he's going to switch out and he's going to go into that Skarmory. And I'm thinking to myself, what do I want to do? Do I want to go into my Zapdos here? What is he going to do? I'm thinking to myself, he might go for the Defog, he might go for a Toxic, he might go for an Iron Head, a Brave Bird, whatever it may be. I think my best play is to go into my Zapdos here. So I'm going to switch out. I'm going to go hard into Zapdos, as we are going to be able to get a little bit lucky here and miss and dodge a Toxic. So we dodge that Toxic. Cool. He gets back up to basically full, as we do as well. And we can go for a Discharge here and basically do 70%-ish around. Yeah, 66% to the Skarmory. He's going to go for the Toxic here. He finally lands it. And again, I want to make a play. I want to go for the U-turn, because at this point, I feel like he can't let this thing go down. If he lets the Skarmory go down, okay, fine. He can go into his Zygarde and go ahead and click Dragon Dance, but he's not going to be able to KO me with a +1 1,000 arrows from this range. No way I'll drop, even after the next hit of Toxic. So I think I'm going to go for the U-turn as he goes into his Zygarde. Even if he goes into the Greninja, that's fine. I didn't want to risk the Hidden Power Ice here because I didn't want to rack up Toxic damage. I didn't want to take whatever hit he want to go for, so I'm going to go for the U-turn here. And yeah, so let's see if this works out for me. I'm going to go for the U-turn, and unfortunately for me, he stays in, so damn it. And I'm going to go into my Lantern here, as he is going to go for the Roost. So I'm going to go for a Volt Switch now at this point. Again, try and get some damage off on this thing, try and get it in range of my Zapdos' Discharge, and he's going to be able to just stay in, and I'm expecting to Roost here, but you never know. He actually ends up going for the Brave Bird here, and this damage is very important. That 16% is very, very key, as I'm going to go for a Discharge here, because at this point in time, we're basically in range of we are just barely. It's like a max roll at this point with the Toxic damage, that we are in range of a +1 Zygarde's, what is it called? 1,000 arrows. If he's Adamant only. If he's Jolly, we'll live the hit. So after this damage here from, we're going to go for Hidden Power Ice here, and he's going to Dragon Dance. After this damage here from the Toxic, again, like I said, we are just barely in range. I think the min roll is 60, sorry, the max roll is 64, and we're at 62. I mean, like, it's like 64.1, something like that. So again, I'm thinking we're going to live this hit, we'll be fine, we'll be okay. Again, I don't know why I had it in burnt, so I was thinking like, oh, I'm going to live this hit easily, I'm fine, we win this game, we're going to win like 5-0, we'll be okay. But again, no, I'm wrong here. I'm going to go with Hidden Power here, as he ends up going for the 1,000 arrows, and he gets the KO. Okay, it's fine. I have my Sylveon in the back. Sylveon lives the hit. I'm good to go. I go into my Sylveon. I want to click Protect here, but I don't want him Dragon Dancing up again. If he Dragon Dances up again, it's game over no matter what. I have no shot at winning. So my play here is to go for the Hyper Voice. Again, the roll for the 1,000 arrows from an Adamant Zygarde, which I'm pretty sure he is, because the only way he could have gone the roll on the Zapdos is like 66, 67, something like that. So we're just barely in range. I'm going to go with the Hyper Voice here, and again, hoping I leave this hit. He's going for 1,000 arrows. He gets the KO. 2 max rolls on my 2 mons that will leave this hit. And at this point, I'm hoping Greninja can live the hit. I'm praying. It's the min roll for Greninja to live. The min roll for Zygarde's +1 Adamant 1,000 arrows is 97%. Hoping I can take this hit. I go for the Ice Beam. He goes 1,000 arrows. He KOs us. And yeah, we're going to lose this game. We're going to lose 2-0. After Zygarde gets 5 kills against us. He ends up being Earth Plate on his Zygarde, he tells me. So, yeah, there's no way we lived any of those hits. The Brave Bird play on the Skarmory was huge. Had I just gone for a Scald, we would have been fine. He was worried about us being Scarf Greninja, so he was thinking about Extreme Speeding the Greninja. If he had that, we would have won the game, would have choked. But no, instead we lose 2-0 to another Dragon Dance Mon. I'm getting sick and tired of my opponents being able to just Dragon Dance against me, click one Dragon Dance and being good to go, and I click Dragon Dance, no matter how many times I try and Dragon Dance up with my Salamence or whatever it is, it just doesn't do anything. I don't know what it is about Salamence, I can't use it. I use it so well in tours, but I can't use it in League play. So disappointed. Again, I really felt like had we knocked on the Scald Burn on the Jolteon that last turn, we would have definitely been able to get the win because of the ability to just go into my Greninja and not really be on the back foot against his Greninja, which is kind of what caused my Sylveon to be in range of the Zygarde. But I mean, it is what it is. I'm disappointed. I was just happy that the game's over, honestly. The fact that we were trying so hard just to recreate, just to get something up for you. And shouts to Spanik, he was really helpful and really he really was understanding that we were able to get this done. Because I mean, I want to have something for you guys to upload. Want something to upload for you guys. But yeah, we end up losing 2-0. We are 5-4 now with a +4 differential, I think it is. We are in danger of falling out of playoffs, and our next game is against, I believe he's got 1 loss right now, Kelly and his Maryland Torp Terrapins, which, depending again, if we lose this game and we end up making playoffs, he would be our first round opponent, it looks like. So I don't know if I want to go in or I want to not really go in because it's a very tough matchup for us as well. I don't know, I felt like I've done a disservice to Greninja this season. It's got like 17, 18 kills, and I'm just not doing well with it at all, just based on the team that I built around it. I think I shouldn't have gone Salamence. I would really wish I did get Salamence, but I shouldn't. I think my questions around the team during the draft analysis portion during that time are being, like, not answered. They're kind of louder, and I don't know. I really wish we won this game. I really wish we did because we have clinched playoffs, but it is what it is. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like on the video. Of course, subscribe to the channel if you are new. GG to Spanik. Hopefully, he can make playoffs. I mean, there's a chance he could make playoffs depending. Like, he hasn't played his Week 8 game at the time of recording this, but yeah, he has a shot to finish 5-5, and we could finish 5-5, and I think he might be able to make playoffs with Austin's team, even though his team was, I think, 2-4 when he took over. So yeah, again, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to leave a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. Press F's in the channel. Press F in the comments below. I'm done. I'm just tired at this point. Oh my god, I'm exhausted from work. Anyways, just press F for Matt's tired. I don't know. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you all next time.